he's just staring at me like this, like he's watching me. And I'm like, so I get on the phone and I'm like, Mari, like I think this guy is watching me. Like I was like, she's like, what do you mean? I was like, I don't know, but it's like creepy. He's just staring at me.
Wrist on frostbite, where the mans look like headlights. This the boss life, yeah. My bitch exclusive and she bougie, yeah. Real life, no movie, whole lot of groupies, yeah. I got a movie clip, and a little Uzi. Yeah, see, they like to talk a lot, yeah, but we like to mute shit, yeah. Pull up and shoot shit, yeah. I like the roof and shit.
Hey, what's up, you guys? Welcome back to another Murillo. This is gonna be a story time. Oh, and also I am Brittany. I'm basically gonna be telling you guys two stories of two incidents that I was in. Okay, so basically the first story that I'm gonna tell you guys is a little bit more crazier, so I'm gonna go ahead and go with the good achievement first. The first story that I'm gonna tell you guys was an armed robbery. One day, this was back when I was 19 years old, and I was working at Metro PCS at the time. I was living with my kid's dad at the time for about, I had barely got back from living with my mom in LA, so it didn't work out for me over there. So I came back over here and I was staying with him temporarily until I got my own spot. So I want to say I was living, I had barely been here a month. And we lived in some ratchet apartments. And if you guys are from Sacramento, it was on Stockton and Florin. So yeah, that just kind of shows you guys. And it was like these hood ghetto apartments. Working, and my mother-in-law had my babies. So I had got paid that day. I went to cash in my check. And at the time I didn't have direct deposit, so I had to go cash in my checks. I was driving home and I was talking to my sister on the phone, and I want to say it was about 8 o'clock at night. And I was talking to Brianna on the phone because she was living with Fernando and I was living with my baby's dad. So we weren't like able to see each other all the time. So I was just like always on the phone with her. And so I pulled up in the parking lot and it was dark already. Like I would do that a lot back then. I would just chill in my car and talk on the phone, and then I would get down after I finished my conversation. Especially living with my baby's dad, it's like hard to talk on the phone, especially about girl things and just, you know, gossiping how we normally do. So it was these two African American guys in the car. So next to me there was an open spot, and my I see like these two lights, like the two headlights a car has. So I noticed a car pulled in, but it was just like halfway. They didn't pull in all the way. So I look over and like they're halfway, so I barely see the front of the car. And I'm like, you know, maybe like they're trying to tell me that they need extra space, like they need more room to get in. So I'm over here being a dumbass. I put my window down and I'm like, hey, do you guys need like more room? Do you guys need me to move over? And then like that's just the type of person I am. I'm just so like, back then I was just more talkative out there. Like I didn't care who I talked to. They're like, you're from here? And I was like, yeah, like I live here. And they're like, we ain't never seen you here in these apartments. I'm like, yeah, I've been here for about a month, that's why. And they're like, oh, you look foreign. Can we get your phone number though? And I was like, no, I have a boyfriend. They're like, all right. So I get back up to talking on the phone, but my window's still down. Next thing you know, all I feel is like these two things on my head. So I look up and sure enough, it was two guns. I was so fucking scared. I was still on the phone with my sister, but I put my phone next to my purse and I put it flat, but I didn't hang up. Like the phone was still on. Like what do you guys want? And like they're like, give me your fucking phone, give me your purse. And I was like, all right, like I'll give you guys whatever you guys need, but like, you know, like just don't hurt me. Give them my purse and my phone, and they, you know, like when I got my phone I hung up on my sister because I was like, fuck, they're about to be so pissed if they know someone's on the line. So when I gave them my purse with my phone on top of it, I just like quickly like hung up. I handed it to them and I was like, Dad, can you guys like leave me alone? And they're like, They're like, this is what happens because you don't want to, you didn't want to give up your number. And I was like, oh my god, like, and then like the only thing I could think of in my head, you guys, is that I was like, I'm gonna be like fucking into little pieces right now in my car, like blood everywhere. Like I just kept imagining that scene in my head. I was also is my kids. I'm like, oh my god, like what's gonna become of my kids? And so I was in shock. I could not believe that was happening to me. And so they're like looking through my whole entire purse. One of the guys was like, give her back her phone. And I was like, what the fuck, like what's going on? So I was like, yeah, can I have my phone back please? And then so the guy starts whispering something to him, like basically saying has like a tracking device because I have an iPhone. So he grabs his like sleeve, wipes it all down and everything, throws it in my car. At the time I wasn't even crying because I was just like, you know, what the fuck, like I was in shock. I couldn't even believe that was happening to me. Like over here thinking it's over, and then like get off of the car. And I was just like, oh my god, like they're gonna fucking take me with them, they're gonna take me. I was like, I was just like, this is it, I'm gone now. I get off the car. I was like, please don't take me, please don't take me. Like you guys already have my purse, like you guys, like just do not take me. I was like, I have 2 kids, please. And they're like, turn around. So like I turn around and then I look back at them. I was like, what the fuck? And then they're like, they looked through my wallet and I had barely cashed in my check. So they're like, where'd you get all this? I had like bills on me, and they're like, where'd you get this all this money from? You're a prostitute. And at that point I was just like, you know what, I don't even give a fuck like if I talk shit to them. Like I'm just like, I'm already gonna fucking die anyway, so I might as well just go hard. So I was like, I actually work hard for my money instead of robbing people like you guys. And then like surprisingly, like they weren't even like, you know, they didn't get that mad. The guns are still like pointed directly at me, and where the apartment's at is like dark. Where the parking spot is, there's like one lamp post, so it's like I could clearly see them because their headlights are still on. But I mean, there was like no action, like no one was passing by or anything. So I was just praying and hoping. I'm like, please just let someone see, please let someone see, like get back in your car. So I'm like, oh my god, like thank god. After that, that's when I started crying. That's when my tears came down, because I was like, fuck, like I can't believe I'm surviving this right now. Like that's like I just had tears rolling down, and I was like, oh my god, thank you god. Like the whole time I was just like, thank you Jesus. Like so then after I get in my car, and they're like, when we pull out, you need to put your head down on your steering wheel and wait a minute or 2 minutes. And I was like, all right, yeah, I'll do that. So I get back in my car, and one of the guys like grabs his sleeve and just, you know, wipes down the car. You guys, after that, I want to say as soon as they leave, 2 minutes, I got off the car and I ran inside my apartment where my kids were at. And next thing you know, the cops show up, because my sister was on the phone, so she heard the whole conversation of when I was getting robbed. When the cops got there, I told them that, you know, I described the guys, what they were wearing. I knew exactly what they were wearing, how they looked, around their ages and everything. And one of the cops was like, I think I know, you know, who you're talking about. Like, they're like, we're gonna show you a few pictures, like, of different guys, and just tell us if you think, like, it's one of them. So I'm like, all right. So he shows me some pictures, and I'm like, so I was like, yeah, like, there's 2 of them looked really familiar. So he's like, all right, I told them what guns that they used on me. So one of them was a rifle. One of them was a rifle, and the other one was more like of a smaller gun. I know nothing about guns, you guys, so I don't even know what they're called. I just know one of them was a rifle for sure, and the other one was a small gun. So he's, I'm gonna show you something, then tell me if that's the gun they used on you. So I'm like, all right. So he opens the trunk and he shows me the rifle, and I was like, that's the rifle that the guy used on me. And he's like, okay. He's like, now I'm gonna show you them one by one, and then tell me if it's them. And I'm like, okay. So I'm in the cop car. He turns on the lights, and he's like, tell me if it's them. So I'm like, okay. So the first guy comes up, and I was like, that's fucking him. Like, that's the guy that robbed me. But they had changed their clothes, and you could tell they changed their clothes into just some random ass clothes, because it didn't even match. It was like crazy stuff together. Like, you could tell they went home and changed. So then I see the other guy was like, yeah, that's the other guy that robbed me. He's like, yeah, like, these boys have been giving us nothing but problems and blah blah blah. I've been wanting to catch them. So I was like, oh my god, thank you so much. Like, I kept thinking the cop, like, thinking, like, how'd you find them? How'd you find them? It turns out to be that they were my next door neighbors. Those guys were my next door neighbors, and I didn't even know the whole time. So after that, you guys, I went to court and I testified. I want to say like a month later, I testified. And you guys, like, one of the guys was giving me these crazy ass, like, devil red eyes. Like, when I was like trying to explain what happened, like, I kept trying to avoid him because I was like, oh my god, like, he's just trying to scare me, he's trying to intimidate me. But I will never forget his eyes. Like, they were bloody red, like the devil. Like, I swear to god, like, just looking at me so crazy. He was gonna kill me with his eyes. Let me just not look that way and let me just continue seeing what happened. So I said the story, I said what happened, and I want to say barely last year we like finally officially closed the case. So I had to re-testify, you guys, and I want to, like, you guys, testifying is the most hardest thing you could ever go through, because like, you still gotta talk to their lawyers or whatever the fuck they had, their attorneys or whatever, and they're bitches, you guys. Like, they will make it seem like you're lying, like you're insane, like it wasn't them. And I'm like, I know, I will never forget the faces of the guys that I thought almost killed me. Like, I will never forget that. And I'm like, I know it was them. Like, I know for a fact it was them. And I testified for 4 days straight. 4 days straight, you guys. Like, I kept having to call into work, and I was like, I'd rather be at work than I'd rather be going through anything than testifying. Like, them interrogating you and everything and being on you and pressuring you and just making it seem like you're a big liar, and like them trying to switch up your story, like trying to say it their way so I could just be like, yeah, and like, I'm like, it was so stressful, you guys, because one of the times I testified was a full day. It was like a full day, and we even had to get lunch, we had to take breaks, and that was like the most, like, I was just crying so bad testifying. I wanted to be done. I wanted to be so done. At that point I was like, I don't even, like, I can't do this no more. And I would cry to my attorney and everything, and I'd be like when is this gonna stop? Like, they're mean. My sister came with me. My sister even testified for me because she heard it on the phone call, but unfortunately they weren't able to get the phone call. So that's what fucking sucks. But I was like, you know what, I'm gonna just go hard, I'm gonna fight, you know, because that's not fair. Like, this could be, like, robbing people is not something that's like, oh, like, you even thinking in your head, I'm not gonna kill them, but like, let me just go do this real quick. That is not right, because it could be anybody. It could be your mom, it could be your sister, and I don't give a fuck if anybody says, oh, you're a snitch or this and that. Like, that is something no one should be having to go through, you thinking you're gonna lose your life at that moment. So basically, you guys, like, finally my testifying was done and over with. My attorney gives me a call back, and he's like, yeah, so basically, like, we close the case now. And I was like, so, like, are they locked up? He's like, unfortunately the jury found them not guilty, so they were let out free, basically. And I was just crying that day, because I'm like, that, like, I can't believe that. I can't believe they got away with it. Like, the fact that they think that they got away with it and they think that they could do it again. Hopefully not. Hopefully they learn their lesson. But most of the time they don't learn, and they think that they could keep getting away with it. That's what sucks. So yeah, you guys, that was like a crazy moment in my life. Moving on to story number 2. This is a little quicker story. Me and my sister, I ended up moving out from my baby's dad's house after, I want to say, like 2 months later. Me and my sister ended up getting our apartment. I want to say it was our 3rd month living there, and it was in December. It was the 23rd. So again, I had got off of work. Luckily my kids were at their dad's house, and I was Christmas shopping. Everybody was doing their own Christmas shopping. So when I pulled up to my apartment, again, I was on the phone. but this time I was on the phone with my friend. So I'm getting off of my car, and I lived upstairs. And when I went upstairs, I was talking on the phone, but I was looking for my keys. I noticed some noise downstairs, so I looked downstairs, and there's this guy. This is an Asian guy. He's just staring at me like this, like he's watching me, and I'm like, so I get on the phone and I'm like, Maddie, like, I think this guy is watching me. Like, I was like, she's like, what do you mean? I was like, I don't know, but it's like creepy. He's just staring at me. And she's like, what the fuck? She's like, stay on the phone with me. And I'm like, okay. So then I started thinking, because I watch a lot of Investigation Discovery, and I was like, you know what? He's probably waiting for me to open at my door so he could run up and like he could lock the door and like, you know, like try to hold me hostage there. I was like, fuck that. Like, I'm gonna grab my car key and I'm gonna make it seem like I'm opening my door. So I grab my car key and I'm like, I pretend to stick it in and I pretend to like move it, and sure enough, he comes running upstairs. And then he comes and he grabs me, and I'm like, what the fuck? Like, I was like, Maddie, call 911 right now, call 911 right now. This guy's trying to like, he's trying to grab me, and he's grabbing me, and he starts like feeling on me. Get the fuck off of me. And I'm like literally fighting him upstairs, like wrestling him. Like, me and him are like going back and forth upstairs. And then he tries to drag me downstairs. I'm like, fuck no, you got me. I was like, you stupid bitch. Like, I'm cussing. I was like, you stupid ass bitch. I'm like fighting him, and I'm like trying to push him off of me. Like, we literally almost fell off the stairs together. So I'm holding on to the rail, and like I push him so hard off of me that he ends up he lets go of me. He almost fell off by himself. So like, I noticed that downstairs he had a alcohol bottle, so I know he was drunk because he even almost fell down the stairs, and he smelled like straight up alcohol. So he runs downstairs and he falls into the bench, and he just takes off running. Thank God my friend Maddie ends up calling the cops for me too. The cops end up showing up there the next, so like we did a whole police report, whatever. They made sure I was okay. I was just so hysterical, like I couldn't even breathe. I had like an anxiety attack because I thought he was really gonna take me or take me inside my house or something. Like, I was just thinking the worst. I go to the office the next day at the apartment office. So they're like looking up the footage, and then all you see is the guy that grabbed me walking into the apartment with the alcohol bottle, and he's like going back and forth, like stumbling because he's so drunk. So tell me why the guy in the office, because I was cool with him, he ends up telling me that he lived in those apartments as I did. So I was like, oh my god, here we fucking go again, another case. Like, after that, I was like, I'm done with apartments. I'm so done with apartments. The apartments told me that they were gonna give him that 1 more month to live there, and after that he had to leave. And the cops never did nothing about it. Like, nothing ever happened. Like, I did a report, I did everything. Like, they should have been able to handcuff him. They weren't able to get the footage where he was grabbing me because it was like on top of my apartment, but it clearly shows that he walked in with the alcohol bottle and everything. Yeah, so after that, nothing happened. Like, both of these cases were a fail. Like, the good thing is that I'm alive and I'm here, and I'm blessed for that. But I just wish they can get what they deserve, because that's not cool at all. Like, that shit is so fucked up. And ever since then, you guys, this is something I do not do. I do not talk on the phone as I'm walking after getting down from somewhere, because they see me as a target, like I'm vulnerable. I'm not paying attention to my surroundings. The first thing I do when I get into my car, I look at all my surroundings. I lock my door automatically. And even after those 2 incidents, I feel like I'm always so paranoid, and I feel like that's why I'm always stuck watching Investigation Discovery, which is like those criminal cases, like those murder shows and stuff, because it helps me be alert. Like, I watch out for like, now I even like pay attention to people, how they look, their features, what they're wearing, just in case anything happens. And after that, you guys, like, I was so paranoid. I would feel like I would go to work and I'd be like, someone's following me in their car, because that's how traumatized I was. Like, I was like, and my coworkers were like, oh my god, you need to stop watching your shows. And I'm like, I swear to god, you guys, like, now it's been a lot chiller now that you know, we live in a house and I feel more safe because I'm with my family. I try not to step out the house by myself with the kids because it just scares me. I do carry a pepper spray with me also, but it just scares me stepping out by myself or with my boys because it's just like anything can happen, especially now that I'm more well known. I just don't want to put my kids through anything like that. And it sucks because I feel like I can't like live you know, normal life where I could just step out with my kids and, you know, enjoy myself. I always make sure I'm with my sister, my brother, my boyfriend, and you know, and it sucks. It's not fair. Like I want to do exciting things because sometimes like my family's busy, my sister's out on a date, or Mo's working, and I'm like, oh, I want to do something with the kids, but it's just like I'd rather just be safe, stay home, and do a project here because I'm not trying to risk anything. So yeah, you guys, that's basically my 2 stories. And you guys just be safe, be careful, please pay attention to your surroundings, be alert at all times, carry pepper spray with you, carry your key like this, and just in case you gotta stab someone. Just be safe, you guys. But thanks for watching, you guys. Please like this video and subscribe. If you guys have you know, some similar story I would like to hear also. Bye.